Every lantern holds a story. Tonight, one will shine. Every year, hundreds of people visited the same night market. Only one of them ever came home wearing a different face. No sign identified the stall. No price was written. Yet every visitor slowed down when passing it. The old seller never called customers over. He only waited, as if someone specific would eventually arrive. On a rainy autumn evening in 2026, documentary photographer Aiko Tanaka entered the market carrying only one camera and endless curiosity. She photographed food, lanterns, musicians, until one silent stall made her lower the camera. Hundreds of masks filled the shelves. Only one looked completely empty, as if it had never belonged to anyone. Without looking up, the old seller quietly spoke. "You may buy any mask you like." He paused. "Except that one." Aiko smiled politely. "Why not?" she asked. The old seller answered without looking at her. "Because," the old man whispered, "once someone wears that mask, it starts looking for a new face." Aiko laughed. "That's a great story." She raised her camera instead of the mask. She pressed the shutter. Nothing happened. Not a single photo was saved. She tried again. Every ordinary mask appeared. Only the nameless one never existed. For the first time, the old seller finally looked into her eyes. "You still have time," he said. Before Aiko could answer, a little girl reached toward the nameless mask. The old seller caught her hand instantly. "Not you?" The old seller stepped into the back room. Aiko smiled. "Let's see." She lifted the mask, wore it for only 3 seconds, then quietly took it off. Nothing happened. The old seller returned. He looked at the mask, then at Aiko. His smile disappeared. Too late. Aiko laughed politely and left the market. She believed the old man had simply told a good story. Halfway back to her hotel, her camera suddenly restarted by itself. The autofocus searched the empty street, then locked on to someone who wasn't there. Every photo looked perfect, except one. The nameless mask had no reflection. Back at her hotel, Aiko imported every photo onto her laptop. One image appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Each time, the face inside the mask looked different. Aiko zoomed in one last time. The face inside the mask was smiling. She had never photographed anyone wearing it. Aiko thought her camera was broken. The next morning, she visited the largest camera service center in town. The technician tested every function. "The camera is perfect." He looked confused, except it keeps detecting one extra face. That evening, Aiko couldn't stop thinking about those words. One extra face. The station's security camera slowly turned and followed Aiko. No one else. Aiko raised her hand. The camera moved too. She hurried outside, but every public camera she passed turned to face her. Aiko finally checked her own reflection in a shop window. Her face looked exactly the same. Behind her, someone wearing the nameless mask was standing perfectly still. She spun around. No one was there. Aiko barely slept. The first thing she did that morning was unlock her phone with Face ID. It failed. She tried again and again. Her own phone no longer recognized her. The technician reset Face ID. It scanned her face perfectly, then displayed only one result: unknown person. The technician frowned. "I've never seen this before. You have a face, but no identity?" Aiko rushed to the nearest mirror. Her face hadn't changed, not even a little. She lifted her camera, pointed it toward the mirror, and froze. The camera wasn't focusing on her. It was focusing on the reflection. Aiko lowered the camera. The reflection didn't. Still shaken, Aiko met her editor to report everything that had happened. Her editor frowned. "I'm sorry. Have we met before?" Aiko laughed nervously. "You hired me." The editor slowly shook her head. Aiko rushed back to the office. Her employee ID still opened every door, but no one greeted her. She stopped 3 coworkers. Each one smiled politely. Each one introduced themselves, as if meeting her for the first time. That night, Aiko called her younger sister. No one answered. Minutes later, her younger sister finally called back. "Aiko, I've been trying to reach you, but why does your voice sound so far away?" Aiko slowly opened her camera one more time. The unknown face was no longer standing behind her. It was smiling through her own reflection. The next evening, Aiko ran back to the night market. The mask stall was gone. She showed the old man's photograph to every nearby vendor. Every answer was exactly the same. "What mask seller?" As she walked away, she heard the old man's voice behind her. "You came back." The old seller slowly lifted the nameless mask. It wasn't blank anymore. Someone's face had appeared. "No," Aiko whispered. "My sister never wore it." The old seller gently smiled. "It never chooses the wearer. It chooses the last person who still remembers your face." Aiko suddenly remembered her sister's phone call. The old seller quietly returned the mask to its place. A new traveler stopped, smiled, and reached toward it. The old seller never tried to stop him.